Welcome to the Design Dash podcast, your guide to designing a life you love. Join us as we explore the keys to living the life you want without compromise. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Design Dash podcast. We are coming to you from the Vanguard furniture showroom at High Point Market. And I'm here, as always, with my lovely co-host, Laura Umansky.
Hello.
And we're also here with our wonderful guest, Tina Ramchandani. How are you?
Hi, I'm excited to be here. Thanks, guys.
Yay. Thank you so much. We were just talking, which we wish we'd gotten that on camera. But I think the last time that we saw you would have been 5 years ago when you both were in a Rizzoli book, a great book on style.
Yeah.
Inspiration and advice from the new generation of interior design.
You have the whole title.
Yes. I remembered.
So Carl Delatorre.
Yeah.
There we go. Full circle. So what's been going on since 2019?
I mean, so many things. We had COVID, so our business changed a little bit.
And we should tell everybody, you're in New York.
I'm in New York.
And we're in Texas. So obviously our COVID was very different than your COVID.
So I'll say when we had met, my office was at home. So I had just moved into a 2-bedroom apartment thinking that was going to be where people were going to come and work, right? I had employees that were coming home because my husband went to the office and I didn't want to pay any rent. So it's like, everybody come to my house. I didn't want to pay extra rent, right? Yeah. So everybody come to my house. So that's what it was. But then COVID, everything had to stop, right? Like people couldn't come over anymore and work stopped for the majority of our projects. They were in New York City. We had some sort of outside of the city that continued very cautiously. But when the world started to reopen, we had to do a new game plan because my husband was hybrid and at that time he wasn't even going to the office. So it was just too many people.
Like chaos at home.
Too many Zoom calls.
Yeah.
And so we got our first office space, which we've been in for a couple of years now. And it's changed my life.
That's great.
Yeah. I love it.
So do you find that it's more like your life is more balanced? Like we talked about balance a second ago. So do you find that you're more balanced because you can get out of the house?
Yeah.
Like it's not all in the same work and life is not happening in the same space. Has that made a big difference?
It's not balanced, but it's better, right? But yes, for that reason, like
balance is elusive.
Yes, I'm working on balance. We're all working on it. But I would say that there are days now that I don't bring my laptop home, which is huge for me.
That's liberating.
It's not every day. I still bring it home quite a bit. It's life. And also because of the nature of our business, I don't know where I'm going to be the next day. Right. Or I do know, but I may not be able to go to the office first, so I may need to work before I head out somewhere. So that's still there. But the days that I can leave my computer at work and the days that I am at home and I don't have to think about work, as much, it's a game changer.
That's lovely.
Yeah. And my employees feel good in the office space, right? It feels like their spaces versus they're coming into my space.
That's true. Yeah. I've never had my team come to my home to work. Like I don't know, when I started a long time ago. And working at home wasn't a thing. I mean, that was in 2007, or 2006. At least it wasn't a thing for me. Yeah. So I don't know.
When I worked in a distributed environment, like the people who were near me in Houston, I would go to their house, but going to my boss's house was weird.
I did it too, so I know it was weird.
Yeah.
I've done it before.
And yet you're going to
But, I was trying to save money, right? I was like, I'd rather pay my team more or invest in marketing or whatever than pay for rent.
Yeah, because overhead, the rent is huge.
In New York City.
Oh, it's huge.
It's a lot of money. But I think we've come a long way, and so now we have a whole floor. We've built it out.
That's
amazing.
Feels
like us.
Great.
It feels like home. So that was the other thing. I didn't want to just go into an office, right? I didn't want to feel like I was sitting in a cubicle. So now we have a whole seating area. We have a beautiful conference area. So everybody feels really comfortable, and it feels like home.
Yeah.
I think that goes really hand in hand with your ethos, right? Which is like calm and serene and comfy.
Soulful. I love that word for your interiors.
Soulful. So your clients show up and hang out? Like, do they just not want to leave?
We can sit there for hours.
Yes. See, I love that. That's when you know you've done it right.
Yeah. And we have, our conference room chairs are upholstered chairs like this. It is a home, and we have a great seating area. We have mini bar. We have all the things, and oftentimes our clients need to drink during presentations for the budget. But so we have.
That's not a bad strategy.
Yeah,
it's a good idea.
They ask for it.
Here's some champagne.
Yeah.
Couple drinks later, let's talk about budget.
Yeah.
I like it.
Going to schedule all of our meetings for like 3 p.m. now.
Yeah. We used to do that. We used to just pump our clients up with some champagne. We need to bring that back.
Yeah.
They enjoy it.
They do.
They're having a good time. They get to look at beautiful things.
Well, it's also celebratory. It's a fun thing. Yeah. Okay, so tell me about your team. Like, talk about who are you working with? Who's on your team?
So we have a small but mighty team. I think you guys are a little bit larger than us. But we have a team about 4 to 5. We're hiring. If anyone is looking, we're hiring a designer. We have right now one lead designer. We kind of need 2 or 3. Yeah. So we're just in between people right now. We have an amazing purchasing coordinator. We have an operations manager. I have outsource of PR and bookkeeping. I think I outsource a lot of other things that are not coming to mind. I have a VA as well. So I have a lot of support to allow us to do what we do. And our lead designers typically will run the project. Like, I'm very, very involved in the vision and, aesthetics and decisions and helping them make the right decisions. And they're learning as we all go, so many things happen and we have to revise our strategy sort of after every project, but but we're excited about it. But I love that stuff. So I'm kind of like a weird process nerd. I don't have the time to do it.
I think all 3 of us are.
Right. But I like sort of figuring out what we could have done better.
Always.
So we have a small but mighty team, and I think we have a lot of fun.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I think so. Yeah.
What's tricky about that process is that every project is so different. So being a process person, I'm like, oh, well, this worked, so we're going to do that every single time. And of course, then it's never going to work again. And so that's tricky. But I think we'll talk about that a little bit more in our
later.
Yeah. Not everybody's a process-driven designer.
I don't understand that.
Well, I hear it because I've been interviewing so many people recently, and I think that some people are doers or artists mentality, which isn't a bad thing because you need that. But they have trouble understanding why we need a process. Yeah. And so that's sort of the struggle there. But when I try to explain, we have repeat clients and they need to understand why we're doing what we're doing and what the next steps are.
What's next?
It can't be
That's what they want to know.
time,
yes.
Especially with repeat clients, because they're going to get confused. They're going to think we don't know what we're doing.
Right.
So do you feel like you're having to explain the why quite a bit to your creative team?
Yeah.
Is it mostly the creatives?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's not just us.
No, it's not just
everyone.
us.
It's everyone.
And do you have to do it on repeat?
Yes.
Okay. Because that is my biggest thing with our leadership team. So our creative, our directors of design, they feel like I should say this once to my team and then they get it.
But
and I'm like,
life
no,
isn't
man,
that way.
you got to repeat all the time.
If you look at even the way we purchase things, we have to see something multiple times before we even want to buy it. So why not for something more important, right? This isn't like a handbag. This is something that they have to do every day, right? So they need to hear it and really get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still struggle. I hate repeating myself so often.
I do too.
Like, I've talked about this a lot.
I pride myself on not repeating myself at home. So repeating myself at work is really hard.
Exactly.
I think once I heard it repeatedly, that I needed to, I think it was our business coach, Megan, told us, you are the chief repeating or repetitive officer.
I like that.
And it is not a failure if you have to repeat yourself. That is human nature.
Yeah.
So, basically suck it up and just do what you've got to do.
But it is hard because you don't want to feel like a nag.
I know. Right. And that's where you have to, that's the balance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I think, I don't know about you guys, but maybe as a woman, being a nag is like a trigger, right? So you don't want to be like somebody that's hounding other people. So trying to explain the why again and again, sometimes it feels like I'm just being annoying.
Right. Well, and sometimes I feel like, okay, well, if they're not getting it, maybe there's something wrong with what I'm saying.
Yes.
Oh, see, I was going the other direction. Maybe there's something wrong with them. Like, I don't know that it's me anymore. Like,
but
sister, I've told you 10 times.
I heard they have to hear it a couple different ways.
Yeah.
7 times, I think is what they say.
There you go. That's the
so
number.
I just like the rule
So when
of
I get
7.
to 8,
You're like,
Okay,
now it's a you
now it
problem.
is you.
That's terrible. And that is not how we treat our team, mostly.
Yeah.
Well, what else is going on for you at Market?
Well, so I'm here, obviously hanging out with you guys, and then we have our panel later on. I'm speaking at Odette tomorrow as well about
What's that topic? Yeah.
outdoor living, which I love so much. I love being outside so much. And then just shopping. You know, I'm shopping for clients. I'm shopping for myself because we're undergoing our own renovation. So that is really wonderful.
That's exciting.
I'm shopping for myself too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
It is fun.
I don't know.
We don't get to do it as often.
And I told Melissa, like, one of these days we're going to come to Market purely to shop. I don't even know the last time I've done that.
It's hard. I keep adding things on.
I know, because you just want to make it so effective. Like, we want to make this, we want to just tack it on.
in 6 years, we've never done that.
I know.
I'd love to do that. I see
I
other
don't think
people
I've
doing
done that
that.
in a
I'm
long
like, gosh, that seems like fun.
Next time.
Yeah.
Seems right. Right. So we are at High Point and we are at Vanguard.
Yes.
So talk to me about, how do you approach your planning for Market? Because, you know, I don't know how many days you come. Like, how many days are you here? What's your strategy?
So I'm here for 4 days. I think I usually come for about 4 days. I want to come less just because I'm tired.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's so much to do and see. And I usually end up, I'll take the last flight out on Monday. I might move it up, depending on how efficient I am.
Yeah.
I have not been very efficient so far. So
That's because you're doing this in a relaxed way.
I'm trying to do it in a relaxed way. So I'm not blaming myself, but I also just want to get home to my dog. So there's, so I think there are things I come knowing things that I want to see, right? Like, I like looking at the Vanguard new launches or the new collections. I think that they're important because we do use Vanguard. And so we try to go to whatever vendors that we use often that we don't get to see in New York. A lot of, I'm lucky because
You
a
are.
lot of
Yes, that's
vendors
so
I get
true.
to see in New York.
Yep.
So I'm actively looking at the vendors that we don't get to see. And my amazing team, my VA, has come up with a spreadsheet and it's organized by neighborhood. And she even tried to do like IHFC by floor, but she doesn't know the footprint.
That's tough. Yes. It's a
tough.
confusing building.
It is a very confusing building, but she did try, and she, you know, I know it, so I can kind of like look through the list and know where we're going. We is just me. I'm here alone this time, but it's helpful because I can walk through and kind of quickly at a glance see if I missed something or if there's something I want to add on. You know, because you hear about things when you get here. 313 space, I heard about it when I got here, and it's amazing.
Right.
Oh.
So I only was there for an hour. I'm going to have to go back. So I'm leaving pockets of time for exploration.
Oh, that's so smart.
Yeah.
We're
That
always
is smart.
so tightly scheduled.
It's so
that
hard.
It's so hard. But I mean, you mentioned that too. Like, you have to go to Market. You have to be in a place to really understand it. I think that when I started with Laura, I was just her digital marketing director, but I was lucky enough to go. I was lucky enough to go to Market,
things.
and I feel like that made things click.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just see it online. You can't just like look through. Well, I mean, we don't really do brochures anymore, but seeing it totally different.
And sitting in things and understanding how they sit for certain body types, right?
Yeah.
Like if it's comfortable for me, maybe it's not comfortable for someone who's really tall.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have to really understand that when you're presenting.
So do you have a tape measure in your bag? Or you
I don't. I do videos though. So
Okay.
I'll take a video of the chair and talk about what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So, because I'm gonna forget.
Yes, no, I do too.
There's
You see
much
so
to
much,
see.
right.
And so I'll talk about it and I'll say, I really like this, but there was something over there. And I know Vanguard, you can switch out cushions. So I said, I really like this, but it needs to be the softer fill. And, you know, the proportions are good. But that way later in a couple months when we're specifying it, somebody can look at this video and understand how it sits.
Someone's going to look back?
We try.
Good for you.
We try. Even if it's just me.
Oh, see,
no,
I
do.
I would
the
forget.
team might, though.
I do.
Yeah, maybe. I may try that. I like
think
this.
it's helpful because they haven't seen specifically Vanguard. They haven't seen a lot of it in person. They've only seen what we have delivered, so they need to understand how other things sit as well, so they can present them.
We'd like to thank our good friends at Monogram Appliances. We've partnered with Monogram for over a decade with our design firm, Laura U Design Collective, and we're so happy to partner with them in producing the Design Dash podcast. Monogram sources the highest quality materials for their appliances, from commercial grade stainless steel to unscratchable sapphire glass. Monogram ensures lasting beauty and unmatchable quality for your luxury kitchen. And not only that, But they have an amazing team who we love working with, and we know you will too. So thanks, Monogram.
So is it hard to be away? Because I know you said, like, I need to get back home to my dogs. Do you travel a lot, I guess? Like, being in New York, you have so many resources. But do you travel a lot? And, like, do you find that is, like, feeding your soul? Or is it soul-sucking?
Both. I mean, look, I do travel a lot. I love to travel. I love to experience new places and see new things. And, you know, I was just on the Design Leadership Network trip.
Yeah. How was it?
Fantastic. It was so
amazing.
Great. I did not have the time to do the add-ons before or afterwards, which I would have loved to do.
Was it Scotland?
Scotland.
Yes.
It was in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
And London was before, and then they had 2 different options for after, but I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know, and that trip really filled me up. I was exhausted before I went. It was nice to see things and really understand how other people are making products and how they're approaching their art. So that's really nice. And then I can come home and be there for my team.
Yeah.
So I do love it. It's hard, it's not easy, but I think you kind of have to make time for your balance.
Yeah.
Make time for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when is balance an illusion? Because I think we talk about that a lot also. We're always talking about work-life balance and what we can do, and we all love to travel. But what are the things that, like, you just can't make happen?
I mean, deadlines are deadlines.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think that's really the harder thing is, like, knowing that you have to get stuff done, especially now when we're low on staff. I am doing a lot more than I would normally be doing.
Same.
How does that
Right.
sound?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes. Same.
And I'm not, I don't get upset about things. I'm not upset about it.
Yeah,
Like, I
no.
enjoy it. Like, I'm happy to do it. This is my business. I love it. But then other things have to stop.
Yeah.
So that
They
I
have
can
to take a back seat.
Correct. So I can do the client work that I need to do, which isn't to say that I'm not working on client stuff, but maybe smaller detail
Yes.
stuff that I wouldn't actually be doing normally, I'm now filling in for. So
I'm literally
everything
looking
else-
at color chips
Yeah.
for a kitchen sink.
There you go.
What?
Someone should be.
When's the
giving
last time you
that.
did
no,
that?
No.
Yeah, I did
but
it
maybe
an
next
hour.
week.
I did it an hour ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot.
It's hard. It's hard to do it all. But so then something has to stop.
Yeah.
So I'm saying no to more events or, I don't
Yeah.
know, PR type of things or maybe networking things that I really shouldn't be. The networking things should never stop.
I know, they're so
But I
important.
have to, like, recoup somewhere. And so if I'm working at night to catch up, then I can't go out and see all my lovely friends.
Yeah. Are you good with the FOMO though? I feel like
No.
I used to
No.
I used to be so terrible about it. I was like, oh, I'm missing out on this, or with Laura, I would just be like, you have to do this. We have to do.
No, I
and I would
have-
always
I
be
have
like,
FOMO.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I really love doing everything. So I really have a lot of
know.
FOMO.
I know.
I'm trying not to. But, you know, being really tired helps because I can't actually go. Like, I physically can't get there. So you're
Yeah.
like, all right, well, that sucks. But
But you see, how long have you had your business?
actually, this is our 10th year.
10 years.
Yeah, we're
Congratulations.
trying to
Happy
figure out how to celebrate.
anniversary.
Thank you. Thank you.
Should do something
I want to
big.
have a party with a magician. So
Do it.
there's a Laura on my team who's working
Love
on
it.
it. Working on it. Yeah.
That's so, like, 10 years in business, you still seem obsessed. Like, you still seem like
am.
you really love it. So people have asked me in the past, like, has it gotten easier? Like, is there a year, like year 2, year 3, year 5? When does this become like, oh, I'm good now?
I don't know if that is ever going to happen. I will
Okay.
say I think it gets easier in some ways and harder in others, right? Like we were talking about the hiring. The hiring is a lot harder now.
Yes.
Right? But then because we have processes, getting through the initial design concept and meetings is a lot easier because we all know what we're doing and we know what to give to the clients. They have deliverables. So it's easier and harder. I don't know that it actually ever gets really easier. My parents, not that they have creative businesses, but they've owned their own practices for things. And it's always been hard, you know? I
So
think
you
just-
knew, you went in eyes wide open.
No, I was
This
very
doesn't get
naive.
easy.
I didn't actually want to I didn't want to start my own firm.
What?
I never wanted to growing up.
Yes,
Right?
okay.
It wasn't part of my life plan because I saw how hard it was.
Oh.
And then one day I just realized, you know,
It's in your
I
blood.
have to do
You
it.
gotta
I was like, I have to do it.
Like,
This
the
is
time's
next
gonna
step.
keep going by. Like, I might as well.
Yeah, I might as well
Let's
do
do
it.
this.
And I was working for great people, so I really enjoyed it. But there was something in me. I was repressing it.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of jumped in knowing it was going to be hard, but not knowing it was going to be this hard.
What were you afraid of? Were you ever afraid of success, or do you think you were afraid of the failure?
Failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think failure. I think because I like to do things well, and I think it also took me a long time to start because I was afraid of putting something out there that I wasn't proud of, or that maybe that wouldn't be received well, or, that
perfectionist
is the
shadow.
perfectionist, but I've let that go because now everything's going to fail at some point. So we're going to just have to keep iterating on things, but that was really difficult for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you've learned how to fail and be okay with it?
Yeah. I'm much better about failure. Also, going after clients when you're younger or newer and I've never had sales experience.
Yeah.
All of my pre-design jobs were in offices or, I didn't have a sales job. So that failure is a different kind of failure, and it feels really personal when someone says no to you.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of no.
It's a lot of no. I'm okay now. Now, for the most part, 90% of the no's, I feel like, okay.
Yeah.
There's
it's
a
fine.
reason. There's something better out there, where I used to take it personally.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to, I think, with some clients. And you mentioned something too. Interior design is so much sales.
Yeah.
Like you
It
really have
is.
to be such a salesperson to be really good at it and to enjoy that part of it.
Yeah.
Which I guess is why I'm not a designer.
I love
I'm not good at that.
I love sales. I like the business.
you're good at it.
I like the business
You're good at
development. You know what I like about it though is that it's at that point in the process, everything it's golden. We're all good.
Yeah.
There are no issues at all. We are dreaming of how great this is going to
Yeah.
be, and I'm going to sell you on that because
Yeah.
it can be wonderful, and there are no issues yet.
And you're selling an experience, which I think is easier sometimes than
It's
selling
exciting.
a tangible product, even though we are selling products, but you're selling how they're going to feel about it.
Right.
So it's easier, I think, a little bit for me.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
You're selling the dream.
Yeah. Yeah. Selling the dream.
So 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you could look back and give, I don't know, you must have started when you were 16.
I'll take it. Sure. Yeah.
If you could give 16-year-old Tina advice and you're just starting out, what would that advice be to yourself?
I feel like if you had asked me this a couple years ago, I'd say the very substantial things hire a bookkeeper and hire this and all of that stuff. But I think it's really getting over your own issues that people don't realize because you're the only one holding yourself back, right? And I think, like you had said, fear of success or fear of failure, I've seen people that have fear of success as well, right? Yeah. Or I have had many, many times money issues, right? Do I have enough? How much do I need? So sort of understanding what your triggers are and how to get past them to do the right thing for your business, that's really hard. And I don't know that that's something someone can learn overnight.
Right.
But that's what I would tell someone starting any career, any business. I think that's a really important thing.
Well, I see this a lot with Laura, and I've seen this with some of the successful business owners that we've talked to. It's just, I think you have to be okay with risk, and and a lot of people aren't.
Yeah.
And we talk a lot about that too with, what you want to invest in and investing back into your business. And some people are just I don't want to take out loans. I don't want to take this risk, and it really prevents people from, I think, jumping in and being successful.
I mean, I didn't want to take out loans, and then I had to, and now my brain isn't going to work, but the line of credit, the line of credit. So during COVID, everyone said, do the line of credit, just in case, just do it. I was like, no, I don't. It's $250 or whatever. It's nothing, it's not a big number, but having this debt, this new extra debt, even if I didn't need it, was really scary for me. And I realized if I don't do this, if something happens, I can't pay my employees, I have to do it. I have to just have it as an insurance policy in the background.
Yes.
And I did it, and I feel better, 1,000 times better right now. Great,
it's it's there. It's a cushion. You can sleep at night.
But I had to get over that. It was hard.
Yeah, well, Laura
dragged
has
my
always
feet.
had one, and I was just like, gosh, this is so expensive. This is so much to take on. And now I'm just so glad it's there.
Thank God. Because there are definitely times where even as a 18-year-old business, that there are times that we're still ooh, we may need that. we may need that.
Yeah,
I mean, we
especially
also,
with COVID.
Of course.
yeah. So I'm happy it's there, and we definitely keep it. Knock on wood. that
Yeah.
Our bank
We're
keeps
not allowed
giving it to us.
We're not allowed to knock on the table.
That's okay. It was intentional. Yeah, I think 10 years is such an amazing milestone.
Yeah. That's
No, I'm really proud, and I think I knew it at the end of last year, and then kind of forgot because we got busy. And then we realized again this summer, and we're like, we should celebrate. Like, this is huge, and I don't celebrate myself. That's another thing that I know about myself that I have to work on, but I don't.
we just talked about that.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what do you mean? Because you made it sound like
I
you
celebrate my
celebrate.
birthday, but I don't celebrate my accomplishments. I think
Yeah.
I'm, maybe because I like to do things really well, I always see an accomplishment and I'm like, that's great, what's next? You
Exactly.
know?
Yeah. Or like that could have been better. So on the next one, I'm going to do this.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I just quickly move on, and I know I'm living sort of in the future a little bit, which
God,
is a
it's-
problem.
I know.
I know, but it,
It's like be present.
I know.
Soak
Working
it
on
in.
it.
Same.
Yeah.
I have a really hard time with that too. And like I was gonna ask you, like, what is next? So 10 years. See, I have the same affliction.
I know.
I'm
but
like, God,
I've
celebrate.
I've been working on that my own achievement
Yeah.
issues for the past 2 years. So
It's hard. But
takes
you
a
know,
while.
but you need people, like you were talking about the birthday, you need people around you to help you celebrate those things. Otherwise, we'll all forget.
I'll just let it pass by.
Yeah. So my team is really excited about it, and because
Good.
they're excited about it,
Well, and you're
I'm
celebrating
getting
them
excited.
too, like you
Yeah,
said.
that's
Exactly.
right.
Yes.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
it's hard because I'm like, okay, great, 10 years, guys. Should we do 15 years? Like, let's,
So what is next? So it's 10 years.
It's 10 years, so we're obviously having a party, or we're working on having a party. I want a magician. I love magic, so we're gonna work on that. We've got some great projects lined up for next year. So
Okay.
and I've gotten also really good at not starting everything at once and giving people future dates, and so that's exciting.
That's hard to
It's
do.
really hard, and even now when I say it to people, I'm like, "Do you want to wait till March? Because I can't do this today."
Right.
But almost everybody's excited, right? Unless
Yeah.
they're in some sort of like crazy rush, everybody wants to do it well, and they're happy to wait.
Good.
We're renovating our own home, like I mentioned, so
Yes.
that I am so excited about. We'll be moving in.
Have you
soon.
demoed?
Well, we are fully in construction. We're almost done.
That's amazing. You
It's
look so
amazing.
rested to be in the middle of your personal
It's a lot of makeup.
project.
I will take it. It's a lot of makeup. I'm staring at Airbnb, so a little rest. No, I'm doing everything wrong. I'm doing everything that I tell my clients not to do.
Isn't that funny?
It's horrible.
And it's because you can make quick decisions
it's
yourself.
because I know what I'm doing.
Yes, yeah.
But I realize that it's not okay for my husband. Because, one, we had some hiccups, which always happen, right? But we're going to have to move in without a kitchen, which I would never let anyone do, right? Ever,
Yeah.
ever, ever.
Try
But
to think, in all the houses I've renovated, have I ever done that?
I've done it before.
I have.
Yeah.
I have done it. I have.
I've done it
3
before.
houses ago.
Yeah.
do you cook?
No, so that's good.
Okay,
fine.
see, that's
it's
fine.
fine.
Like,
I don't
I
cook.
cook.
My husband
I love
cooks,
to.
and we're traveling with our air fryer.
Oh.
So he'll be fine.
I did this 12 years ago, right when I had the girls. And we
my
moved
goodness,
into.
that's hard with kids.
Actually, it was before the girls. I
Okay,
lied.
That's
It was
really hard
that
with
house
children.
that I had the girls when I was living in that house, but we moved in before the kids. But yes, I've done it. I moved in without
Yeah.
a kitchen. It is hell on wheels.
It's really.
Oh my
Look,
gosh,
we're
I
in New
can't
York
even
City.
imagine.
Delivery is like
Yeah. Oh, that's so
water,
true.
right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
getting food delivered is really easy.
You're gonna be just fine.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
be fine. It's more. I don't. It's not actually about the kitchen. It's just that we would never let anybody do
No.
this.
Right,
You
yeah.
know, and so I'm kind of like laughing at myself. Because when people want to move in,
Do as I say, not as I
right,
do.
a little early, I'm like, there's going to be dust. This is what you want to do. Like, it's going to get in your clothes. I say all the things. And so I'm also telling this to my husband. He's like, can't we just like move? We have a lot of stuff that we've done. Can't we just put it in a corner? I'm like, we haven't done the cleaning. It's going to get, like, so we're doing everything wrong, but it's going to be fine.
It will. It will. It will. And it's going to be a memory. Like, look, I couldn't even remember that we didn't have
Yeah.
a kitchen. I mean,
Yeah.
I did because it was painful. But it was
But you
worth
guys can
the
see
wait.
the vision,
Yeah.
because you're future thinking, so you
Oh,
can
yeah.
see the vision.
And I know when it's coming.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it's never come. I've already ordered it.
Is it like
it's
a
on
month
boat.
later?
2 months.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think we're gonna get it before Christmas. I'm being really honest. I think it's gonna be the first week of January. So I've scheduled my
What'd you tell your
appliances for then.
husband?
I told him.
Oh, he knows.
He knows.
Okay.
He's
See, ours was
Accepting.
a Hogan Paul kitchen, and it was worth waiting.
The first time I moved
was
in, it
great.
was a poke and pull, also worth waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I waited for it, and it was great.
Okay.
It'll be great. It'll be great.
Yeah. Okay.
And we're going to have a refrigerator. So my dog's frozen food is going to be fine. That's all right? Like, of course, that's all I care about.
Figaro, right? Figaro will be fed.
He will be fed. We're building him a window seat, so that'll come in a little bit later.
Right?
Priorities. He's going to be fine. Yeah.
Okay, so renovating, you've got some good projects going on. Okay, so what about
and
like
we're hopefully hiring.
hiring?
So we got it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot because
That's
all
a
these
lot.
things.
Hiring is a lot.
See, clearly I am overachiever when I'm like, it doesn't sound like that much, but.
Well, no, I'm going to ask you now. So, like in 3 years from now, 2 years from now, are you writing a book? Do you have a furniture line? Like, what is your path for your career?
On the horizon. All these things are in my head, and I've been talking to a few people. Nothing is solidified because I needed to get sort of my home situation.
Yeah, you need a kitchen
sorted.
first.
Yeah, I need a kitchen. I need to, be able to make cocktails.
But
again.
that you feel like is the career trajectory.
Those are the next couple things that I've been thinking about. But I don't want to, and I'm sure you guys feel this way too because of what you do and how you help people. I don't want to put something out that's not valuable.
Yeah.
And we come to market, and there are so many great designers that are doing so many great things, and like maybe I don't need to design another whatever, right? That's already out there. I want it to feel a little more special. So
yeah, we talk about that too.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll see.
And so until you land on that thing,
it's just a big
percolating.
idea.
It's
It's a
percolating.
big idea, and I think it'll come through. But I need more time to think, which, in the
When you get
balance,
that.
Yes.
where is the thinking time?
So, do you work on vacation? When you go on vacation, do you just like?
Speaking
not
of
to.
balance.
I try
Right.
not to. I try not to.
But it's also good thinking time.
Yeah, it's good thinking time. I'll say yes and no.
Okay.
It depends on like which vacation and when and where.
Yeah.
And how long?
And how long. And so if I'm gone for a week, I'm going to have to work a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
I try, if I'm gone, I might log in for a Monday morning meeting and just kind of like make sure everything's
what's
fine.
going on.
But then I'm okay because then I've like talked to everyone and everyone's fine.
Yeah.
And we have a rule, I don't check my email, on at night or on weekends or on vacation. And if I have to look at something, my husband has to take my phone and look at it because I have severe anxiety. So like once I see the other emails, I'll get like I start working.
Because you have to solve the problem.
I have to solve the problem. And I happened to look at my email today. It's a Saturday because I needed to know where I was going to dinner tonight. And I saw a client email and I was like, I shouldn't have looked. I should have made someone else look for me. But I try to have those boundaries because I know how I am and I'm not good at like half working, half relaxing. Like I need to fully relax or fully work.
Action is the antidote to anxiety. So I'm just like, I'm just going to do it.
And just get it done.
But then hours go by.
Right. And I'm anxious.
It's not really a 5-minute thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I have this one builder that will email me at night. I mean, up until like I go to bed. And I'm sad to say I respond, except for he emailed me last night. And I looked at the email and I was just like,
You're also at market. It's Friday.
No, actually, I'm giving myself permission to fully ignore this email into like perpetuity, like forever. I will never answer it.
Oh, that's okay.
I mean,
I'm fully behind that.
Do you need to answer?
If he needs this answer,
He'll come back.
he can ask me again.
That's true.
And so, yeah, I normally wouldn't do that. And it's kind
I'm
of making
proud
my
of you.
hands sweaty just like
No,
saying
I'm proud
that.
of you.
I would never. I normally wouldn't do that, but the question was just like
I am so proud of
kind
you.
of
That's what
inane,
you're
and I
doing.
was just like, not doing
He can
it.
figure it out.
He'll either figure it out or he'll. It's
Ask you
actually
again.
it is something he needs from me. But I'm like, I'll kind of get that to him when I get it to him.
You have your out of office email. He knows when you're coming back.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, well.
But some,
I also am
some
like-
things have to wait.
I kind of don't care.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you.
Thanks.
That's huge.
I feel good about this. Yeah, it's just like it can wait. It can
Yeah,
wait,
it's
and I
true.
shouldn't have
It sure
looked.
can.
Like your strategy's good. Like having someone else
I
look
have
at your
to-
email.
I mean, it sounds kind of crazy when I'm like, hey,
No,
here's my
because
phone.
all of a sudden then your anxiety goes from like here to here, and
Yeah.
you're just like, damn it,
Mine
now I've
goes
got
to my stomach. It feels like I'm going to throw up.
Oh, see, mine goes to my
Mine's
throat.
in my
Yeah.
chest.
Yeah.
It's just like, when it
My
comes up here,
throat
it's
gets really hot.
Mine too.
Yes.
That's why
this
you
is-
guys are good together.
This is the guilt and the shame. So my therapist tells me when you feel it here, it's
See?
guilt.
What does the stomach mean?
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to find it.
I don't
Yeah,
have to figure that
I don't
one
know
out.
that one.
But I have a lot of guilt, so I know it's right here.
Mine goes to my throat.
I've
It's
gone
really
to a
hot.
lot of therapy, so my guilt is reducing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
that's
working
good.
on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
I'll get through it.
Well, we have a couple minutes until we have to go up to our
go to
panel.
panel.
So, okay, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
What have you read recently that you think our listeners would be interested in?
Absolutely nothing. I have not read anything. No. I literally have nothing for you.
Thank you for your honesty.
Yeah, I'm here. I read when I am not working or I'm
Yes.
trying to relax. I read murder mystery novels.
Oh.
So nothing that can help anyone in their career in any way.
Oh, that's
But
okay.
I
No,
need
But
to
that's
get out of
fine.
my head.
You gotta disconnect.
Oh,
Yeah.
I read fantasy romance.
There you go. So
Garbage.
Give me a
Seriously.
recommendation.
Oh, I have so many. Or I read business books. Tons.
Yeah.
I was for a long time. I think I'm just at capacity right now, like we've talked
I
about.
went through
so
phases.
I just can't. But I also wasn't reading them. I was listening to them on audiobooks or Audible or whatever. Because when I'm walking or driving,
Yeah.
it's easier for me. Also, then I can digest it, and I'm not thinking about other things that I have to do.
Because you're multitasking.
Multitasking.
You're going somewhere, but you're still accomplishing.
I'm learning. So yeah.
It's terrible. Okay, so any
don't have an answer.
podcasts that you're listening to?
I listen to a lot of Business of Home podcasts.
You do?
I love
Good.
them. I mean, I
Yeah.
listen to Dennis's podcast. I listen to Caitlin's podcast. I think just hearing how other people work
Yes.
and
Yes.
approach their business, and it's like a bite size. It's not too long. I can listen to it back and forth from work, and I feel like I've learned something most
Are
of
you
the time.
driving in the city?
No, but I have clients outside of the city, so I end
okay.
up driving there. But even
wow, look at
getting to
you.
work and getting on the subway, and I walk a lot, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I second Business of Home. I loved their 50 state series because I was
So
like,
good.
I
They're so
love. I mean, obviously we're in Texas and
Yeah.
we do things the Texas way, but to see how people do it in Indiana or Wyoming and like how successful they are at it, I loved that series. A good Business of Home.
It's really good. Yeah.
All right, Melissa, what do you have? Anything to wrap us up?
I think that's it because we got to get going and do our panel.
Okay, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
joining
guys.
us.
This was wonderful.
This was wonderful.
So fun.
And thank you, Vanguard. This was
Thank
great.
you,
Yes,
Vanguard.
thank you. Vanguard.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to check out our next podcast, coming live next week on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. In the meantime, you can find us and more wonderful stories like these on designdash.com. And make sure to follow us at Design Dasher on Instagram and TikTok. Till next time.